Hello, all my favorite people. How are you doing? It's been a minute since I've posted, and I'm a little bit under the weather. I have a cold, so I apologize. But I figured I would kind of take a moment and tell y'all all what's going on our little farm here with Heart and Soil. So, one of the things I run into this time of year, and it's every single time, is when it starts to get dark at 6:30 at night, and once the temperatures drop, I kind of get into a funk where I just don't have the gumption to do like I've been doing all summer. I don't know what it is, but I can't stand the cold. So I'm trying to stay positive and stay out of it this year, and I'm going to keep going, and we're going to get the greenhouse going, and we're going to grow, and it's going to be fantastic. So like I said, I do have a little bit of a cold. I apologize. In Tennessee, it went from 90 to 40 overnight, so of course I got sick. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what's going on. There's so many projects, and my procrastination is through the roof, so we are going to get them done. But I figured I'd kind of take you guys on a little tour. So here's a few things. So I want to say, I was really kind of sad that I was thinking that I wasn't going to get anything off this. So this is my first year I actually started growing loofah gourds. And even if I didn't get anything, to be 100% honest with you, the beauty, just that how this grew, I would grow it again without question, because it was just absolutely just stunning. I love the look of it. We used cattle panel to make the archway, and I absolutely loved it. But I was super excited because I wasn't thinking I was going to get any loofah gourds, to be honest. We didn't see any, so I thought, oh, it was going to be a bust. But looky, 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 we found this yesterday. Look how big. Isn't that beautiful? That's gorgeous. So I'm super, super excited about that. There was a couple other little ones, but nothing to brag about, you know. We did have that, which, it being so close to the end of October, like I said, this is my first year growing loofah gourd, so I'm kind of just leaving it alone, to be honest with you, and not really messing with it too much. Kind of letting it just, I don't know, see what's going to happen. I'm not sure what to do with it. If you guys have any suggestions, or if I should be, tearing it down, let me know, because I have no idea what I'm doing with this. So to the next thing. So of course, this is the one of our above ground garden beds. We tore out we have all of this. It has netting around it, and it's all secured, but we went ahead and tore that out so we can get in there. It got away from us a little bit. The last month, about the last month, it's been about 97 degrees in Tennessee. So, I mean, the heat has been through the roof. About the last 2.5 weeks, we've kind of had a break. And with that break, the change of weather and the rain that's come on, everything's kind of halted for us, because it went from like extreme heat to cold weather, so we're trying to acclimate to it. So we did pull up all the fencing and all that. It looks quite atrocious right now, but we are going to get out here. We're going to flame it. So we flame all the beds really good, and then we're going to cover it up and let it sit for the winter, and then uncover it. Now, one thing I do want to show you guys, and don't judge my weeds, like I said, procrastination's at its finest right now, but look at these figs. So we planted these figs this year, and I'm really excited about how big they've gotten. Look at those. Aren't those gorgeous? Look how tall. That's as tall as I am. I'm 5'7", and it's over my head. But they're just doing so great. So we are going to torch this area and get it covered and get it taken care of. So that's one of the things. We had corn planted all along the fence line. We actually tore out the fabric, the landscaping fabric that we had there, because we were not happy with how it did this year. It was not good at all. So I'm going to replace that with the same landscaping fabric that I used when in my hemp. If you follow my channel, you'll know that we try to grow our own food, but we also took a dab this year and started growing hemp. And so this is the landscape fabric that I'm going to use with the corn. It did absolutely fantastic. Don't worry about the look of this field. I've harvested, and that is all stock from the hemp plants that I pulled, so please forgive that. We've got some peppers that are still popping pretty good. We harvested a ton of them yesterday, but there's still so many. And I went ahead and pulled, we had tomatoes and cucumbers all around here. So we pulled all of that up, got that all out. And I'm not going to cover this. I'm just going to wait and just do it next, in the spring. Just redo it, remulch it, and just let it do whatever it wants this year, to be honest with you. This is all around our pool. So if you follow any of my channels, if you follow me on Instagram or, Facebook, myself and my husband, you'll see that we grow on an acre. And so I'm really big about utilizing every bit of space that I have. I would much rather grow on it than mow it. And so I kind of live by that philosophy. So this area that I just showed you, that's all around our pool. All right, so I guess I need to explain what happened and why I'm dressed differently. So I'm sitting here talking to you guys and telling you about everything that's going on, and all of a sudden the camera just shut down and stopped working. And so I took it into Rob and I'm like, what happened? It's not recording. And I guess my memory card was full, and on top of that the battery died. So I had to recharge the battery, dump the memory card, and that took longer than expected just from everything that's going on. So I'm back again the next day to finish up the video. So I apologize for that. So as I was saying before, this is around our swimming pool, and I'm just going to kind of show you just how I utilize that space. So we took all this space, and you can kind of see, it's just our swimming pool. And so this area got most of the sun. I mean, you can't tell right now, of course, because we're in shade. So I started at that furthest spot and went all the way around. And we had the first two spots were cucumbers, and then I had several varieties of different types of tomatoes all along here. And I had put several pictures up during the process to kind of show what it was doing. And I used fishing line and tied fishing line up, and they grew up, and it worked magnificently. Neely, what are you doing? Neely's out here visiting us. And then, like I said, the peppers are doing really, really fantastic. So that's great news. And the one thing that I was going to say is I am probably going to put some more of that landscape fabric here, but not until spring. And it's the fabric, like I said, that are in these beds because they've done so good. And so I'm going to go ahead and just keep those. Some of the other things that we're going to do or need to do pretty quickly is get the above ground garden beds in order. I've pulled a lot of stuff, like I've pulled tons and tons of stuff out of there. I pulled out all the tomatoes, all the beans, the cucumbers, the lettuce, the spinach. I had another tomato bed up here. There are some more beans over there which I've got to pull out. And then the okra. Okra lives forever. This cat is just insane, y'all. I'm sorry. One thing I learned, so I am not a huge fan of okra, but I wanted to grow it because I know it sells really well in our farmer's market. And so I wanted to be able to have that. But if you don't pick okra, like immediately, you have to check it every single day, like every single day, then it gets too big and too hard, and you can't use it for anything. So that was my, biggest growing lesson this year is pay attention to the okra because it requires you to pick it constantly. But that stuff lives forever. I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of just, once we were done with the okra, I haven't done anything to it, and it's still growing. It's still growing. I can't kill it. So that's kind of interesting. So I'll show you a quick pic of that. So we're gonna come in, we're gonna flame this whole area, get this down, put new fabric, remulch it, and get it ready for spring. We also have to pull up, we have drip lines that we utilize, so we're going to pull up all the drip lines. We don't leave them out over winter. We have drip lines on all of our fields, my hemp fields, this garden bed, the large garden bed. So we're going to pull all those up so they don't corrode or have any issues over the winter. So hold on. And the strawberry bed actually still looks magnificent. So this bed I had cleaned out, and that is the drip lines that I was talking about. I have to get all that pulled out, and please don't judge the weeds. I am going to get on top of it, I promise. And then this okra is just crazy. It has just, it's still growing, it's still producing. It just blows my mind how just abundant this plant is. It's just crazy. So some of the other things we're gonna do before winter is I kind of make sure that where my chickens and ducks and everybody is, that they have a good secure, good secure and warm area. So I will kind of insulate their chicken coops and duck coops. Some people tell me that you don't have to do that, that they're fine, but I've done it every year. It just makes me feel better, and so we do that. So we have this material that we wrap on the outside of it, and it gets on these real thin boards, and the boards get stapled to the coop and holds it down. It's like a really thick kind of durable plastic material. So we put that around the chicken coop and the duck house just to kind of insulate it. I do the deep bed over the winter. Now in the summer I change it every week. I'm out there every week changing it, but in the winter I do start the deep bed. That kind of keeps it, that also helps and has been really beneficial for me. And so I do that with all the coops. Just keep adding the material to it. So that works. And then I just feel comfortable just adding that little bit of extra just insulation around the outside. Now Tennessee doesn't get like bitter cold for a long time. We don't have to worry about long periods of cold, but it still gets kind of chilly, and 20s, teens, and it can last for a couple weeks. So it just makes me have the benefit of the mind. And if you see the stuff behind me, I have posted quite a bit. This is the barn shed, I don't know what you call it, that Rob and I have been building. We actually dried our hemp crop in there that we just harvested. I have a second field to do, and we're getting ready to harvest that one too. That is the newest crop that we added to our little farm. Like, we grow our own fruit and vegetables. We have our chickens, the ducks, and so we decided to, also add hemp to our farm. And I have told many people, if I'm going to grow my own food, why don't I grow my own medicine? And so I process and do like the CBD oils. I make hemp tea, things like that. So that's been our first year process, and I've documented and put videos about that. So if you're interested in that information, go check me out on some other YouTube channels, and I posted some stuff on Instagram too. But that is the shed that just about took us out. It took a long time to do, but we did it, and we're kind of, we're happy with it. We knocked it out, so it was super exciting. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? You going to say hi? You're going to say hi? That's Neely. So this coop, I don't really worry about insulating. So the front of the coop, I'll just show you. I got hay in there right now, so I'm sorry. So the front of the coop is just where we store everything that we need. The wood shavings, their food is in there. That's additional hay, lime. And the coop actually is behind that door where they all go into roost and everything. So this stays pretty decent. So I don't have to really worry about that too much. Sorry, y'all, let me close this door. Oh, they're getting loud. Don't worry, the cat won't hurt them, but that's where they go in. So I don't have to worry about this one very much. You know, it does stay, you know, pretty decent and warm, so I don't have any issues there. Sorry about the ladder. We're still putting some additional trim on the barn. We've got to finish up the lattice, and so we're working on it. It's a work in progress. But that particular coop right there, I do keep that far end open, but they do nest inside, so I do secure that all the way around with that plastic material, just to kind of make sure that they're doing okay. And then the duck house, I also wrap that completely, just because it just makes me feel more comfortable. And then the one back there, that's where Mr. Templeton lives. Now there is, you'll see like a piece of white material hanging. That was just because I noticed the sun was kind of beating in on that area. So I just put that there just in case he wanted to hang out there, he'd get a little bit of shade. But he doesn't ever go up there anyway, so it doesn't matter. So that's kind of what everybody's doing, what's going on the farm. We got a few things to still do, but we'll get there. As far as fall crops go, I'm probably not going to have as many put in the ground as I wanted to. I'm a little late in the season. The hemp honestly took a lot more time than I thought it was going to, and I don't mind it. Like, I enjoyed it. It requires a little bit more attention than certain things do. So some of the fall crops are pushed behind, but as long as we get some stuff in by November, we should be okay. Like the, you know, carrots, onions, garlic. So we'll see if I can get that done. But thank you guys for coming on our journey and watching, and you know, asking us questions and commenting. I love this community, and that people are kind of, you know, along for our ride and what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. And it's just, you know, fascinating to meet so many, you know, great and wonderful people who are just interested in kind of, you know, sharing our journey and what we're doing, and who knows what we're going to do next. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Have a great day. Bye.